Welcome back to Movie Moshow. Today we are going to review the horror drama film, The Swarm. If you like our content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We post multiple times daily. Spoilers ahead. Laura and Gaston, two children of Virginie, a widow and single mother, reside with her in a remote area of France. She has been trying to raise locusts for protein without much success, which has embarrassed both her and her daughter. When Virginie's husband Nico was still alive, the family raised goats, but, after his death, which was thought to have been a suicide, the concentration is now on locusts. Virginie finds it difficult to make ends meet because the locusts are not reproducing in sufficient numbers. After one of his own pet locusts feeds on a wound on his hand, Gaston learns that the locusts are attracted to human flesh and blood. Later, over recordings he placed online mocking her and her family, Laura gets into a fight with Kevin, a boy at her school. Virginie goes to her locust enclosure and angrily destroys the nests because she is frustrated that no one will pay her high money for the locusts or will only buy from her out of sympathy when her buddy Karim encourages them to. However, she slips and is struck unconscious. Virginie awakens to find the locusts feasting from wounds on her arm, and she immediately escapes the enclosure. The locusts grow more active throughout night. When Virginie realizes this alteration, she becomes desperate and opens the enclosure slightly, takes her armband off, and lets the locusts feed on her. Virginie can sell a lot of locusts since they keep growing quickly, nevertheless, she must keep giving them more blood and meat. Laura becomes enraged at her mother's growing fascination with the locusts and rips open one of the greenhouses, letting a swarm of them out. Huguette, Gaston's goat, is attached to the rear of a truck that is in the area. When the swarm hits the truck after being attracted by the goat, Huguette is nowhere to be seen. Huguette was abducted by the locusts. Gaston sobs to Virginie as she gets back from a trip to the town. Later, after castigating Laura for causing the greenhouse tear, Virginie discovers Huguette in a field covered in locusts that are feasting on her. She drives Gaston around as he cries out for Huguette without letting him know she has located his goat. As she continues to feed the locusts with her own blood and starts killing neighboring animals like her neighbor's dog and cow to feed them, Virginie's mental state continues to deteriorate. Karim and her relationship suffer as a result. When they start to kiss in his winery, she pulls away since she can't explain why she has open wounds all over her body and won't take off her clothes. The soccer camp Gaston has been begging to attend is finally available, but Laura must drop him off because Virginie has been up all night feeding the locusts. Laura is unaware of this because her mother won't let her into her room. Laura discovers her mother's room open and the floor covered with bloodied garments when she gets home. She dashes to the greenhouses where she discovers her mother being eaten by locusts while still wearing her underwear. Laura, who is horrified, texts Karim to invite him to her house because her mother is ill. When Karim and Laura are alone in the kitchen, she is unable to tell him what is wrong with Virginie but brings up the locusts in an attempt to cheer up the family by hosting a movie night at his house. When Virginie arrives, she and Karim argue, during which Karim advises Laura against returning home. The neighbor searches inside one of the greenhouses for his dog in the meantime. Karim brings Laura and Virginie back home later that evening. He starts to explore around the greenhouses when he notices that Virginie and Laura have entered their house, only to discover the neighbor's body who had been hunting for his dog when the locusts murdered him. Although the locusts attack Karim as well, he is able to get out of the greenhouse. When Virginie discovers him outside, she realizes he has learned her secret. The greenhouses are doused in gasoline and set on fire when he sprints back to his truck. Virginie tries to stop him and put out the fire, but while she does so, they realize that the locusts have escaped and are assaulting the house where Karim and Laura are hiding since they have started to swarm. Virginie enters the house after hearing Laura scream and discovers Karim covered in locusts and being devoured. Virginie and Laura flee the house together and rush into a neighboring woodland. Laura hides under a capsized boat on a lake while being pursued by the swarm. The swarm starts to encircle the boat, weighing it down and beginning to drown Laura. When Virginie notices this, she uses a pocket knife to slash open her hands, bathing her face in blood and luring the horde toward her. Attacking Virginie while ignoring Laura, the swarm. Laura emerges from the boat's underside after realizing what has transpired and swims toward her hurt mother, grabbing her in her arms. The swarm disappears above them as Virginie holds her daughter close in the sea as dawn breaks. Thank you for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe.